Good evening. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam kobibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravanamangalam srimadaatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, today's the record is Monday, September 29, 1884. It was the third day of the Durga Puja. I am reading from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, 567 page. The third day of Durga Puja. The master had been awake in his room at Dakshineshwar since early morning. The morning worship in the Kali temple was over, and the orchestra had played the morning melodies in the Nabat. For those who doesn't know the system, there was a special music room in every temple. It's called Navat. In the Navat, they used to play the tune, and obviously in the early morning, so they played, and the big temple, that was the system. And the Brahmins and the gardeners, basket in hand, were plucking flowers for the worship of the Divine Mother. Bhabanath, Baburam, Niranjan and Aim had spent the night at Dakshineshwar, sleeping on the porch of the master's room. As soon as they awoke, they saw Sri Ramakrishna dancing in an ecstatic mood. You can imagine. Then their sleep broke by seeing the Bhagavan in that divine mood. And as soon as they awoke, they saw Sri Ramakrishna dancing in an ecstatic mood. He was chanting, "Victory to the Mother Durga, hallowed be the name of Durga." It is the Durga Puja, so he was full of Goddess Durga, that spirit. So why so many pujas in the Hindus? First is, the Hindu, they understood that temptation of this world is too much. And it is very difficult to resist the mind for the ordinary people from the temptation. Very, very difficult. Even those who are striving to get the liberation, even they sometimes slip from that. To keep them at bay, to make the ordinary people all the time reminding about the God and the divinity, so many varieties of pujas and also other things they included. The ceremonies, so many varieties of ceremonies, at least some portion of the mind will be thinking. Now we are going to on the 17th, in the noon time, there is a program in the Hindu temple Lemont. They are going to pour the water on the top of the temple, so the Mahakumbham, etc. So we will be attending that, etc. On 16th evening, we will have the talk. 17th the performance. So something or other, they will be organizing, so that the people, at least many times, they will go to attend that program and they will remember. The Durga Puja, 5 days puja. And all over the people, right from the poorest of the poor and the rich people also, all will be involved. And what is this Durga Puja? What is this Shakti? Or discussion will be there, people will be reading. And in environments that creates, And the personalities like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, or the gods in human form, they also add into that. So that particular time, the people's mind automatically go up. Many of the Hindus, millions, they'll be practicing the Navaratri and also reading the holy books like Sri Chandi, and things goes on like that. The Sri Ramakrishna, he is adding in this way. The devotees sat on their bed and with unwinking eyes watched Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual mood. Hazra was living at the temple garden. We know about Hazra, those who are regularly following, those who have read, we know this person. He is trying to realize God. He is living with the living God, Sri Ramakrishna, but unfortunately he was not understanding the truth. This is very, very unfortunate. Why? Ego. What is this ego? I know. Only this much was keeping Hazra different from Sri Ramakrishna. When the other people are coming, taking his blessings and also following his guidances and becoming liberated, Hazra living over there regularly, so we will come to that. Why? So Hazra was living in the temple. Latu was also living there to render master the personal service. Rakhal was still at Vrindavan. Narendra visits Sri Ramakrishna now and then. He was expected that day. This is Master Maharaj. It's so specific. It's very rare among the Indians. The Indians, they mostly describe the things in a more philosophical way, the interpretation. But what is happening and why it is happening, everything so categorically. So that is why there is no doubt about the existence of Sri Ramakrishna. Suppose someone at the time of Ramachandra kept this record. Suppose someone at the time of other religious personalities kept the record. Mostly not. About the Avadhuta, there is no record. In some Purana they mentioned, and we are gazing, there are a lot of opportunity to express doubt about their existences. But this Sri Ramakrishna, that he understood it is a modern time, so people will challenge, so all these things in great details. Narendra was visiting now and then. This is a word, why Master Moshe is mentioning, because previously he never used to come. And he was very close to the Brahma Samaj. Now he slowly understood that here I will benefit in my spiritual life. The devotees washed their faces. The master took his seat on a mat on the north veranda. Bhavanath and Aim sat beside him. Other devotees were coming in and out of the room. If you have visited the Dakshineshwar, you know that there are three doors actually. Sri Ramakrishna's room, there are 3 doors. The people are entering. Now it is even today. From this door, some people are entering, that door they are going out. So that's what's going on. Master to Bhavanath. The truth is that ordinary men cannot easily have faith. But an Ishwarkoti's faith is spontaneous. Faith. This is a word that most of the majority of the modern people, they'll say no. Why faith? Because we will come to that. Because the faith means is a weakness. Without knowing anything, just someone said, why should I have to believe? So faith is a word all the time debating, and in the modern days is too much. Sri Ramakrishna here very clearly mentioning Ishwarkoti, their faith is spontaneous. Those who know about the Ishwarkoti, who are the Ishwarkotis? They are godly people. They have already realized God, but still they have taken birth only to help the other people. You know that sometimes two brahmacharis came to join in Advaita ashram. I was also a brahmachari, but a little senior. So the senior Swami asked me, in church Swami asked me to take them to Belur to introduce the other senior Swamis, like the President Maharaj, Vice President. That is the tradition. You are supposed to go. These two, they were coming from a place where they never knew that one should go and touch the feet of the senior Swamis. They will just bow like this and that's all. So I took these brahmacharis and everywhere they were bowing. I was touching the feet of the other Swamis, but they didn't follow me. They were bowing like this. The other Swamis didn't say anything, the President Maharaj and others. When I took them to Swami Bhuddheshananda ji, he was the Vice President, and they also did like that. Swamiji, they have newly joined in Advaita ashram. I have brought them over here to introduce with the Belur Math, the headquarters, and to introduce the senior Swamis. They bowed. Immediately Bhuddheshananda ji told me in Bengali, you show how to respect the senior Swami, then they will follow. Then I told them, follow me. Then I did, touched my forehead at his feet, and with all respect, they also did that. So this is how we have to, some people should behave, those who are devotees, close to the organization and the Swamis, they should behave in such a proper manner so the other people, new people, they will learn from that. And Ishwar Kotis are just like that. Ishwar Kotis, they are coming with the complete faith because they are realized souls. There is no doubt whether God is there or not, all these things are over. And that is the reason they come to support the incarnations, the manifestation of God in the human form, whom we call incarnation. And these all, they come to support him so the ordinary people also can follow that way. They develop the faith. So here he is telling their faith is spontaneous. Hasra can never be persuaded to believe that Brahman and Shakti, that Shakti and the being endowed with Shakti are one and the same. The Hasra will never believe it. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is expressing this. It's a wonderful philosophy that he is introducing. The philosophy of pure Advaita, the everything, that consciousness. But we cannot deny this moment the external world. Simply because that someone said that there is no world, as we are studying now, the Avadhuta Gita. Avadhuta is telling there is nothing but me. But that is for Avadhuta. Ashtavakra Samhita, nothing is there for Ashtavakra. But what about us? We have to reach to that height. But before that, we know that we have to follow the steps which our Mahapurushas, the great souls, they have followed. The Sri Ramakrishna has come to help us. Understanding the different levels of minds and people, he is giving us this instruction. What is this instruction? He is telling, look at it. Hasra can never be persuaded to believe that Brahman and Shakti, those who have studied the Vedanta and also following the words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, you know that one is Shakti, the power of God, power of Brahman, through which the Brahman, the Supreme Brahman, is manifesting or creating this world. How? He is creating it from his own Shakti. And this Shakti has been termed in many different names. Hiranyagarbha, they say it. On what is that Hiranyagarbha? They're saying the Brahman, which is completely absolute, he has created this world. We should not mix up the pure Advaitin approach where they say there is nothing is there. The Gaudapada Karika, it says there is nothing. And similarly, Ashtavakra Samhita, similarly, the Avadhuta, they all say like that because they have reached over there and that is the truth. We should not mix that. Now, to explain and to understand what is this Jagat, what is this universe, where from it came? From that Brahman. And how Brahman did it? Through its power. And this power is known as Shakti. Power, actually in Sanskrit, Shakti. What is that power? Desire. The Brahman's desire. In the Veda itself it is mentioning. It's not that someone or the Shankaracharya, he just introduced that. Not that. It is in the Veda. That one he wished. That wish means the desire. What is the desire? I am one. I like to be many. Now if you question why he thought like that, there is no answer. The Supreme Being, in his mind, there is a wave came, I am one and I like to be many. Why he thought like that, you cannot ask that question. It's absurd. But the thing is this, the creation, to explain the creation, it must be like this. And when it was that, the Shakti, the power, it is there, it is existing. How we know this? Our thoughts. I am thinking fast. My desire is coming. Then the planning. And then the execution. The Brahman also thought in that way. Some people won't accept it. There is nothing wrong. As I was mentioning again and again, Avadhuta and others, they didn't accept that. But their stand is completely different. Not Hajra. Hajra is very lower level and he is thinking of so many other things, but at the same time he is arguing why I am speaking so much time to explain this, because some people in the name of Advaita Vedanta, they always say this world is not there anywhere. So I need not to do anything. But in the morning he is running for the office because he has to earn money. If it is so, this is completely wrong. You have to understand your condition and then only you can start. Otherwise, it will be hypocrisy. I say something and I do something. I understand something, I practice something. So that is the reason, only this line we should understand very carefully. And it is not only we are making mistake, it is Hazra. And Hazra was not an ordinary soul. He was also with Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That means he has done something very good. Otherwise, how it is possible to live with Sri Ramakrishna? This is the reason we have to understand. Whoever came in contact with Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna only to explain the truth for the ordinary people, then and afterwards. This Hajra is an example of a doubtful personality like us. So we are not expecting, so Sri Ramakrishna is telling, that being endowed with Shakti are one and the same. When the reality appears as creator, preserver and destroyer, we call it Shakti. When it is inactive, we call it Brahman. This is Sri Ramakrishna. And if you go to any other book, it will be so difficult to understand this simple thing. And so easily Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Why? Because he has not studied this. He realized that. So from the realization when he speaks, it is completely simple and truth. Those who cannot, that means they are going on describing it, using different terminologies, and the language is so wonderful. They go on and on because they have not understood that. So that is the problem. Those who have understood the whole thing, it becomes so easy. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, the fire naturally brings to mind its power to burn. Now, he is giving the example. He said, the same thing, the Brahman, when active, we give the name Shakti. And when inactive, it is Brahman. On the basis of this truth only, they have developed the Kali and the Shiva. Shiva, inactive Brahman, Kali, active Brahman. And there is no difference. Now he is giving the example. He is giving the fire. The moment you say fire, naturally we know the power to burn. And the idea of burning naturally bring to mind the idea of fire. It is impossible to think of the one without the other. Look at so simple way he is explaining. So these two are there. One is the action, the activity. Another is the source of that. So I pray to the Divine Mother. O Mother, Hazra is trying to upset the views of this place. This place means Sri Ramakrishna. He never said I, this place. Now his prayer, look at it. He is praying. To whom he is praying? The Divine Mother. Who is this Divine Mother? Shakti. The Shakti of whom? Brahman. So he is praying to the Brahman when it is active. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, whenever you are praying to the Shakti, instead of praying to the, of course, Sri Ramakrishna, but at the same time, if you pray to the Mother, you get the answer very quickly. Your prayer will be answered by the Mother. Problem will be solved by the Mother. Why? The same Brahman, same God, but the Shakti, the power from where he is working. So he said, I pray to the Divine Mother. O Mother, Hazra is trying to upset the views of this place. Either give him right understanding or take him from here. So, very clear. The next day, he came to me and said, yes, I agree with you. Why Sri Ramakrishna is giving this example? He is giving that if you pray to the divine power, your prayer will be answered. So this is he is telling in this way. And yes, I agree with you. He said that God exists everywhere as all-pervading consciousness. No doubt. It's okay. Bhavanath smiling. Bhavanath, the young boy, he was a friend of Narendranath. So naturally his age was also by that time, 18, 19. Did what Hasra said really make you suffer so much? So Bhavanath, he was also very intelligent. So you are praying to the Divine Mother that either you take away the Bhavanath or change his mind. Is it so important to pray like that? Master, you see, I am now in a different mood. Here also we should understand, I cannot shout and carry on heated discussions with people. I am not in a mood now to argue and quarrel with Hazra. The Hazra will pick up a discussion, and very hard discussion. Hazra is a book reading. Sri Ramakrishna is a realization. And Hazra will be quoting from the Veda, Upanishads. Sri Ramakrishna will be telling from his own realization the simple way, the truth. Hazra, a Hridaya said to me at Jadu Mallik's garden house, Uncle, don't you want to keep me with you? You know that this boy, the young man, the Hridaya, the one is Hazra, another is Hridaya. Hridaya was his nephew. He used to serve Sri Ramakrishna in a personal way. And Sri Ramakrishna, and he used to scold Sri Ramakrishna a lot. Friends, most of us, we have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna. You know the contribution of the Hridaya Ram. He used to serve Sri Ramakrishna. And slowly, Sri Ramakrishna became known to the people of that society. And high and rich people started visiting him. Now, Sri Ramakrishna was not at all paying any heed who is coming and not. That Hridaya Ram, he became egoistic. He started thinking, all these rich people are coming and they are coming and asking him only. Can I talk to Sri Ramakrishna? Can I go inside the room? When he'll be free? So he is now the secretary. And secretary is more powerful than the boss. And Sri Ramakrishna said, I will go there, and Hazra started controlling him. This Hridaya Ram started controlling him. Then one day so happened, Hridaya went too much. And Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Ma Saradamani Devi, and to impress the new boss, this Hridaya Ram worshipped the daughter of that landlord, the son of Mathur Babu. And he was very angry. Without the permission, why you have worshipped my daughter? And they were afraid, if you are worshipping the daughter, maybe that she won't be able to have the normal life. So naturally, he was angry and told her, go away from here. Sri Ramakrishna didn't say yes or no. This is also a teaching. When we are with the religious people, the person who is serving the religious man should be very, very careful. Why? The different type of things come, and mostly those who are very close, they start thinking that I am doing it. That ego takes them completely away from God, away from the divine life. So one must be very careful. When Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that Hridaya said to me at Jadu Mallik's garden house, Hridaya was not allowed to enter into the campus, that place of Dakshinesha. But Jadu Mallik was the neighbor. Sri Ramakrishna was visiting that house, and this boy, the young man, came and told, Uncle, don't you want to keep me with you? No, I said. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, no. I am no longer in a mood to get into heated argument with you. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna, his mood has completely changed. The time, if we see, it is 1884. And 1886, Sri Ramakrishna will give up his body. So it is no time for him to argue and to pursue and to make them agree. He understood that only 2 years I have to organize a wonderful mission, train these young boys, the pure-hearted soul, and I should help them to realize God so that afterwards they can continue without me. So keeping the mother, the divine mother, Ma Saradamani Devi, over there, but in those days you have to remember, it is 18th century, 19th century beginning. So obviously in that society, Indian society, the women were not getting that respect. So keeping the mother as the head, it was difficult. So who else? Narendranath. And he was only a young boy of 20. And all around him was all senior people. So Ram Babu and others. So Sri Ramakrishna was trying to develop that. And slowly he was giving lot of importance just before others also to Narendranath. So they understood Narendranath is not ordinary because the master himself is giving so much, expecting him that he will be a great soul. But that way, the Lord in that form was slowly making the mission. Now he is telling, what is that our subject today? What is knowledge and what is ignorance? He is asking this question. What is knowledge and what is ignorance? Then he said, a man is ignorant so long as he feels that God is far away. And this is Sri Ramakrishna. So simple. The ignorance and knowledge. Mostly, in the very first pages of this gospel we know, Sri Ramakrishna was asking the same question to the recorder Master Mahashaya. What about your wife? Is he that? And Master Mahashaya said, in those days the girls were not attending the schools. Oh, she is a good lady, ignorant. And Sri Ramakrishna rebuked him. And you are the man of knowledge. And why? Because knowledge and ignorance means one who understands or realizes God is a person whom can be said is a man of knowledge. And if not, ignorance. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling a man is ignorant so long as he feels that God is far away. He has knowledge when he knows that God is here and everywhere. Very simple, 2 sentences. If you think that God is far away, you are an ignorant person. And if you can understand and feel that God is here and everywhere, then you are a man of knowledge. This much and nothing else. When a man has true knowledge, he feels that everything is filled with consciousness. And this is Hinduism. Sri Ramakrishna was arguing, and not only that, he was praying to the Divine Mother to prove the Hazra, either he should be here or go away, to accept the consciousness when active is Shakti. The Hazra admitted. But the same Sri Ramakrishna is now telling, what is the knowledge, true knowledge? He feels that everything is filled with consciousness. Filled with consciousness. So this is called the true knowledge. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is mentioning, Yo mam vetti tattata. You, the one, vetti, mam vetti, they know me, tattata. Truly, what is the truth? He is in this form as Sri Krishna and also as consciousness everywhere. But unfortunately, majority of the people who are following Sri Krishna, they don't give the importance to the second part. Sri Krishna in this form is God, that much. And they will never visit other temples. They'll never accept other gods and goddesses. They'll never allow people to visit. And all these things, the narrowness, and they're closing all the doors and windows. But what is the second part? Tattataha. What is that tattva? I am everywhere. If he is everywhere, the same God is everywhere in every being, how can you say no to that person? So this is true Hinduism. Friends, just a little in this discussion, knowledge. What is that knowledge? The consciousness everywhere. Is it just because someone said and we have to accept it? No. In, but you know that there are 6 systems of Indian philosophy, and each and every system of Indian philosophy, they have methods to prove. I will only quote from the Vedantic philosophy and how they prove the truth that consciousness is everywhere. They reach to that truth through 6 different methods. And if you are interested to know in details, a little tough philosophy, but you will really enjoy the reading if you love the philosophy. Swami Ishatmananda's the book Methods of Knowledge. It is available in our bookstore, Methods of Knowledge. Every page you have to read 2-3 times, and slowly you will be understanding different terminologies and you will understand arguments. There we find that Advaita Vedanta, they are accepting, some they say only 3, mostly the 3, and some say only 2. But Advaita Vedanta accept 6 systems, 6 the ways to understand the truth. First is Pratyaksha, perception. Now the person's perception is having the 2 different ways. One external, another internal perception. What is the external way of perception? Through our 5 senses. We go and touch, we see, we smell, we taste, and we understand these. This is a perception. We also feel love. We don't go and touch or see, but we feel love or hatred, joy, sorrow. Where we feel. That is also knowledge. That is also perception. Someone will come, hey, what happened to you? Now he insulted me. He didn't beat you. He says something, but the man who is insulted, he knows the pain inside. Other people may say something, but the person who has been insulted, he can understand what is the pain inside. So that is also perception. So the perceptions are of 2 types, external and internal. It is called Pratyaksha. I am not going to explain it here, maybe some other time, an opportunity comes then. Inference, Anumana. Anumana, we know that through the inference, we are sitting inside and we see that all the trees are moving, so we can understand there's a strong wind blowing. We can understand that sitting inside the room and all windows are closed. But we can say there's a great wind blowing outside. How? Inference. What is the inference? The trees and branches, they are moving violently. That means a strong wind is moving. Then the Shabda, the verb, and that is Veda. Our Vedanta philosophy, they accept Veda. Many of the system, they don't accept. Only Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa are the Vedanta, they accept Veda. We talk about Veda, but at the same time we must know many other philosophy do not accept. This is why should we accept that? Somebody said no. We must realize so, but Vedanta accept the Veda. Who are these Apta Vakya? These are the terminologies. Apta means realized soul. When a realized person says like this, then we must accept it. This is Apta Vakya. Then Upamana, comparison. When we compare, then we come to that resolution or the truth. Yes, it is possible. When we are comparing. And from the comparison also the knowledge dawn. Another is presumption, arthapatti, or postulation. This is the terminology they used, a presumption, arthapatti, and non-apprehension, anupalabdhi. This is also pramana. This is also pramana, the anupalabdhi. Now the last one. I do not see over here the person wanted to talk. I was thinking to talk. This is also pramana that he is existing. Suppose I was thinking that he will come and I will talk with him. I said, no, he is not here. This he is not here, anupalabdhi, I didn't see him over here. Also, another type of pramana, proof that he exists. So that's one day in Bombay, one of our Swamiji was giving a talk. Then one person stood up and said, can you prove that God is here? Well, why not? I can prove. Now please sit down and tell me, is there a cow inside this hall? He said, no. How do you know? Because I know the cow. That is the reason. Now you said there is no God, right? That means you know God. I will go and touch your feet because you realize soul. He said, no. But it proves that. Proves means when you say there is no God, that means you have the conception of God and you know who is God and you can be certain to say God is not here. As you are certain to say no cow is here in this assembly because you are certain you know what is cow. So to say that there is no God also pramana. Anyway, so these are the ways by which we can understand that there is consciousness, there is God. This is just a passing remark. Hazra entered the room and sat down. The master talked a while about different things and then he said to Hazra, you see, many people were at the Ram's house yesterday. Bijoy, Kedar and others were there. But why did I feel so deeply stirred at the sight of Narendra? I found that Kedar belonged to the realm of divine inebriation. As I was telling, he is introducing Narendra with the devotees. There was not much time left, only 2 years, not even complete 2 years. The God knew it. The Avatara Varishta, he knew it. He knew that I have to make a leader. So he was introducing Narendra. He said, so many people were there. But I thought only about Narendra. Why it is? So this proves that Narendra is having something which God appreciates. So afterwards, there is no hesitation to accept Narendra. Not only that, to make it confirm, almost before his death time, he wrote with charcoal, Naren Shikhe Dibe, Naren will teach the whole world. Jokhon Ghore Baire Hak Dibe, when he will explain this eternal religion in the outside and inside India and outside India. Exactly that happened. Naren Shikhe Dibe, he will teach the whole world. And this everything he is making the plan that a great movement will start. Friends, don't think, hey, here is a Vedanta society, there is a Vedanta society, this Swami, that Swami. Not like that. It's a great movement which was started by the God himself in the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Which was nurtured by God's power, Ma Sharadamani Devi. And another form, Swami Vivekananda. They are all disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Then how come that we are only keeping Swamiji? Because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he gave his Japamala, the rosary, with counting beads to the mother after worshipping her. And then he offered it to Ma Sharadamani Devi. and prayed to the Divine Mother, who was himself. He prayed to the Divine Mother, please enter into her person and manifest that divine power, so that through her millions will get the liberation this time. And he entered, the God himself, his power, entered into the person of Swami Vivekananda. The young man, he was sitting at a little distance and looking at Sri Ramakrishna, who was in his deathbed. Suddenly, Narendra observed that electric current is coming from Sri Ramakrishna to him, entering into him, and he shouted, as because he was studying in English, so obviously the English came fast. He shouted, "Lo, the old man entered into me." Look, the old man entering into me. And in that, the lo, he said, "Lo, the old man," poetic English. "Lo, the old man entered into me." Then Sri Ramakrishna said, "What you are talking about? Do you think I don't understand English? I know what you are telling." Then he said, "Now I gave everything to you." So this is Sri Ramakrishna again in another form, Swami Vivekananda. And Ma Sharada Muni Devi, the power of God. Now these three, they started a movement. Do you compare with others? No. Don't make the mistake. This time, this is the power, this is the way, and it's going to cover the whole universe. And what is that? Love and unselfishness, complete self-confidence without ego. These are the movement. It's not I am the Hindu and I am going to grab, or Sri Ramakrishna should be the God. No. Not like that. We never talk about Sri Ramakrishna. Have you ever heard our Swamis talking about Sri Ramakrishna? Only once in a year when we celebrate the birthday of Sri Ramakrishna. Then only we talk to our devotees, that too for 1 or 2 hours, that's all. We talk about Vedanta philosophy. The Vedanta is nothing but faith, self-confidence. I can do. As Swamiji said, those who are not having the confidence, they are not believing God. So the self-confidence, that is Sri Ramakrishna's philosophy. And leaving these, if we go to this man, that man, okay, no problem. Visiting is all right. But know that the true knowledge is here. If sincerity, if you are really sincere to know about the spirituality, don't leave this opportunity. The Sri Ramakrishna, he is now telling, the master looked at him suddenly when went into samadhi. When this talk was going on, suddenly Narendranath came. And he saw that there is a mat, they spread it. The other devotees are supposed to come and sit. But this young boy came, and in those days they used to mostly come walking. He was tired, he lied down over there. The moment Sri Ramakrishna saw him, immediately he went into samadhi, and Bhavanath, the friend of Narendra, he sang, "O Mother, ever blissful as thou art, do not deprive thy worthless child of bliss." In Bengali it says, "Ma Anandamoyi, O Ma, Nirananda Korona." Don't make me the sad, because you are my mother. The Sri Ramakrishna again came down from the samadhi and he was talking. He said to Hazra, was sitting on the northeast veranda, counting the beads of his rosary. Another thing that we should understand, after the realization of God and continuous remembrance of God, you don't need special time or the system to meditate and take the name of God. It's continuous, spontaneous. Hazra was calling on God. Master went and sat in front of him. taking the rosary in his own hand. He took the rosary in his own hand. Master to Hazra, you see, I cannot use the rosary. No, perhaps I can. Yes, I can with my left hand. See, rosary is supposed to count in the right hand. He took it in the left hand. Okay, let me try. But I cannot repeat the name of God with it. With these words, Sri Ramakrishna tried to perform a little japa, but hardly had he began when he went into samadhi. This is the wonderful teaching. Sri Ramakrishna is giving the teaching through words and also with his behavior. So when we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we hear him talking, and at the same time, thanks to Master Mahashaya, he so nicely depicted the whole picture, we can visualize what is happening. That's why I always feel, most of you go to India, if possible visit Dakshineshwar and Belur Math, Kamarpukur, Jairamati, these 4 places. The birthplace of Sri Ramakrishna, Mahasharada, and also the divine play that happened, Dakshineshwar, also in Belur Math. Swami Vivekananda's birthplace now in Calcutta itself, not very far from Belur Math, so you can go over there. And all the other places. And if you go after reading these, the moment you will enter, immediately you will remember, oh, this thing happened over here, etc. And Sri Ramakrishna, he was sitting there, took the rosary, wanted to take the name, he couldn't. Why? How long one should practice? Once you realize God, you are God. You need not to. Now suppose, shall I go on telling, oh, Ishatmananda, Ishatmananda? I am Ishatmananda. I am not going to take my own name. Those who are talking about me, other people, they will mention my name. But not me. Just like that. When we realize God, we become God ourselves. We need not to take our own name because it is already done, it is complete. Then why all these Swamis, the great souls, the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, they used to practice meditation? Because the joy in going back to your own self. Going back to your own self. You have to, as long as the body is remaining, you have to live in this world, talking with people, behaving just like any other, feeling hungry, feeling sleepy. But the moment you meditate, you go back to your own self. That is completely different, completely different. That is the Sri Ramakrishna is showing. He sat in that state a long time, still holding the rosary in his hand. All were still sitting on the baranda when suddenly Bhabunath appeared in the garb of a brahmachari. Another scenario. The people, they were there. There's a young boy, Narendranath's friend. He went inside somewhere, he got a gerua and he dressed himself as a brahmachari with a kamandalu, the water can that usually the sannyasins they carry, and he came, and people naturally liked that dress. He dressed in an ochre cloth, kamandalu in hand, his face beaming with smile. The young boy making fun. Master with a smile, that is his inner feeling. He's feeling joy as a brahmachari. That means he wants to be a brahmachari, wants to be a practitioner in spirituality. Therefore, he has dressed himself as a brahmachari. Then Narendra, a casual remark. Master Moshe is depicting all these things. When you look at Vivekananda, we think, oh, it's Vivekananda. But see, he was just like us. My friend is doing something, I also feel like. So Narendra commented, he has put on a garb of a brahmachari, let me put on the garb of a tantric worshipper. The tantric means the red cloth. Hazra was there. Hazra commented jokingly, then you will have to follow the tantric ritual with women, wine, and so on. Sri Ramakrishna didn't like. See the mind immediately coming down when we are discussing about some higher thing. If someone comment like this, immediately the whole thing breaks down. Sri Ramakrishna did not encourage the conversation. Instead, he went completely in other discussion. We will discuss about that afterwards. And a monk was there, but he was very short-tempered. And how Sri Ramakrishna is behaving with him. This is how we should learn. Okay, so after this, in the next Tuesday again, we'll meet. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. The other day, one family came, husband